Hey YouTubers, this is EMD SD40R, and this is New Trains Part 12, CP Rail SD40-2, number 5647, the Expo 86 edition. Well, today I went to Nicholas Smith Trains in Broomall PA, not only to do some Christmas shopping, but to basically get some things that I was needing, like styrene parts, 256 screws, and a whole bunch of other stuff that I'll show you in a bit. And while I was shopping around, at first I picked up some stuff, and then I actually kind of relaxed a little bit and started really looking in the areas that were covered by other items. And sitting on the very top shelf in the brand new train section, now this engine's pre-owned but it's like new, was this engine. Now if you guys are familiar with this engine, you know that right now it's nearly impossible to find one of these because they are so rare. This is an Athearn ready to roll model, and it's beautifully done. It's got a plow. I added KD couplers to it. It had the regular plastic knuckles on it. And this would probably be my third CP rail engine in my collection. And it's my second SD40-2. I have another one that's a snoot nose. But anyway, this is one of the engines that have been on my list for I don't know how many years. And it's extremely hard to find. It's not being made anymore, and if you want one made, well, you have to custom make it yourself. Now the model is basically like based off of well, this particular body shell is based off of the EMD SD40-2. If it was prototypically done correct, there wouldn't be any top headlights. There'd be a bell. Headlights would be in the nose, and there would be a single headlight at the rear of the unit. Now I might have that done, but then again I might not, because I don't really want to. This is probably just as rare, if not, I mean, it's probably just as rare as my Milwaukee, Racine, and Troy 60th anniversary SD40-2. Those are impossible to get. I got that brand spanking new from Stroudsburg Train Store about 2 or 3 years ago. But yeah, this was sitting on the sitting on the shelf, and the original owner actually replaced the wheels with Athearn Blue Box wheels, because my Milwaukee, Racine, and Troy, it doesn't have the blue box wheels. This one does, which was great, which is great because the blue box wheels are better than the other ones. I checked the coupler height. The coupler height is all correct, and this engine is just, I mean, it's just amazing. You saw the intro. She's a powerhouse. I mean, just a beautiful piece of equipment. She's gonna look great running with my Soo line locomotives that I have. Yes, I have about 12 or 13 Soo line engines right now in my collection, and those are pretty hard to get. But yeah, this is not the only thing I got today. Let's move this down. I also picked up some ore jennies here. I believe these are the Michigan style ore jennies right here. This one is Chesapeake and Ohio. This one's Denver and Rio Grande Western. And then here's another Chesapeake and Ohio. They're both the same numbers, but I'm gonna remove one of the numbers off of that one, make that a 3-digit number. So, and these are Bessemer ore cars. These aren't the Michigan style. These are Taconite style ore cars. These are actually Walthers. These are Roundhouse. And let me just pick one up for you. And the original owner actually completely painted the undercarriage black. These came with metal wheels. Coupler height is correct on them. And they run great. Before actually coupling them up, I checked all the coupler heights on them and everything. And the good thing about them is they had metal wheels already, and didn't really need to bother with that. Here's the undercarriage of one of these. Now, I don't know what this person was trying to do, but they actually cut a notch out right there of this car. But these are the Walthers ones. Very, very heavy. Very, very nice. These are I think these are my first Bessemer cars in my collection. I have the Bessemer SD7 that's being rebuilt into an SD24 R. But these are the first Bessemer cars that I can actually recall being in my collection. And these are going to be added to my other ore terrains, my other ore cars. I have a whole bunch of them. But moving on. Now we're getting into the Athearn kits right here. I don't know if anybody's ever seen this car. I have no info on it. I don't even know. I never even seen this brand. I never seen this company before. I don't know if it's a special run edition, but it was rare. I got it, and I have it now. I actually had to put undershank couplers on it. If you guys can see, I actually had to put undershank couplers on both of these cars. I actually bought them by mistake today. I thought they were the center shank, but I actually ended up getting the undershank. But thank God it actually worked out, because if I bought all center shanks, then these probably wouldn't be running right now. And then here's another one. This is a Kansas City. This is Kansas City Southern. This is probably, if I'm not mistaken, my first KCS freight car in my collection. The only other KCS equipment that I have is that E8/9. That's the only other one that I have. Put the undershank couplers on this car as well, and they came with metal wheels, so that saved me more money. And then this is a CP rail bulkhead flat. I think that's the right name. Bulkhead should be right. This one is a Walthers kit. It doesn't have metal wheels, it has the plastic wheels, so I need to upgrade that. I did put the KD couplers on it. Basically what I did is I swapped the couplers off of these cars, put the undershanks on them, and then put those couplers on, put one of these cars' couplers on this car, and then on another car, yeah. And then the next car you obviously can see is a Maine Central car. This is another Athearn kit. And I don't really have too many Maine Central cars. Like the only other one I have is from when I was a kid, and then the other car that I have from Maine is this Banger and a Roostuck. That's a Lifelike kit. That's the original Lifelike kit, and I added the KD couplers to that. But I like the color schemes that Maine railroads have. And the cool thing is the doors do open on both sides. This actually looks like it was custom painted, because the roof is actually weathered. Looks really, really nice. Really nice. I like it. This car at the end is not new. This is just one of my cars from my collection. I just put it on there for fun. I did put a new coupler on the rear here, so it's got KDs on both ends instead of one end now. And then what else did I pick up? I picked up these two Roundhouse cars. I believe these are Roundhouse, if I'm not mistaken, because usually Roundhouse kits have this cast metal frame here, and that's how I'm able to distinguish them from other brand of kit cars that are out there. And yeah, they're free rolling, even though they got plastic wheels on them right now. Let me just get these guys on the track for y'all real quick. Alright. Now you're probably wondering, why did I buy these two cars? Well, I bought them because I'm going to actually turn them to Amtrak ballast hoppers. Like those short ones that you see that have like the covered ends here, and then they have the open roof here. Yeah, so you're probably wondering how I'm going to do that. Basically, to make the ballast chutes, I'm going to be using this I-beam styrene. And basically what I'm going to have to do, let me just let that guy roll. Basically I'm going to have to cut notches out here, horizontal lines across that square. and then I'm gonna have to pre-cut these to a particular length, and the height, and they're gonna come right above the rail, just above that rail where that gap is, if you guys can see that gap. And it'll be as close as I can get it to the real ones. But yeah, and here's the dimensions for it if you guys want to know. So I got that. I was going to get a thicker one that was from Plastruck, but they wanted almost $8 for it, and I said I ain't paying no $8 for that. Got some more couplers here, long shank, under shank. I got the 24 pack of Athearn 2.56 by 3/8 screws. Now basically Katie also makes these, but and they're at predetermined lengths. Like you can get them in, I forget what lengths they are, but you can get the super long one, the medium, and the super short one. This is actually the correct length you need for like your coupler boxes and your wheels. I use this particular length all the time for trucks and couplers because the way that they got things going now, they just make the coupler screws way too small, and I don't know how something that's barely that big is going to hold a coupler cover and a coupler onto the, I don't know how they're going to. Walthers does that a lot with some of their older kits. It had this little tinky dinky screw that was about yay big, and only like you were only able to get like a thread or a thread and a half into the coupler pocket screw hole to hold the coupler plate on, and you would have to screw it down so tightly that the coupler wouldn't turn. So I just use those instead. Another thing I did today, this is these aren't new. These aren't new in my collection. I've had these for years. I had this for about 2 years, and I've had this one going on like 10 years, 10 or 12 years, actually 13 years, no, about 12 years I would say. And they have, the good thing is on one end they have the Central Valley interurban couplers. I actually bought an interurban from a trolley show a few years ago that was made out of wood. I took those couplers, put one on this car and one on this car. This is the Lehigh Valley interurban number 801. This one is actually these are from Bowser, by the way, if y'all don't know. This is the factory. This one was factory painted from Bowser, and it says Allentown, Liberty Bell Route, Philadelphia, and it says Philadelphia, Allentown, and Water Gap right there on the side of the car. I don't know if you guys can see that clearly, but this is car 801. Now you can actually see 801 at the Trolley Museum, which is right next to the, I think it's the Trolley Museum, I think it's the Trolley Museum or Electric Railway Museum. It's right next to Steamtown. They're right in the same area. But yeah, this is one that I custom painted, and yeah, over the years the paint has been chipping off. I added a 3-chime air horn here and added a 5-chime air horn here, but let me show you what I added today. Ta-da! I added Katie couplers, the long shank, to the other ends of each car. And let me get my coupler height checker. By the way, this is from Katie as well. I recommend getting these. They're definitely accurate. And if you guys, let me just wait for the image to clear up because I was blocking it. There we go. If you look closely, coupler height is perfectly correct on this car. And we'll move down over here. Let me get close for that. And the coupler height is correct on this car. Now, at Nicholas Smith, they had, let me see if I can, there we go. At Nicholas Smith, they did have 2 of these. They had a Duet car, and they had a trailer, which is extremely rare. And I went back there today to look, but last time I saw them was about a month and a half ago. So I kind of expected them not to be back, or not to even be there. So I was a little disappointed in that. I did find some Christmas presents for myself, and you guys will be seeing that. But I just haven't been able to pull myself away from this engine. I mean, I had to see it. I had to see it. And actually, if you look down here, you can see the detail. It says GM right there. That's pretty clear to see. I mean, this engine is just... The only thing I don't like about it is these plastic railings. Now, this, even though it's an Athearn ready to roll, it's not their first generation. It's actually either the second generation or the third generation, because I looked at the drive shafts and it has the hex head drive shafts that are made out of metal. Now, my Milwaukee Racine and Troy is from the first generation of Athearn ready to rolls, and it basically still has the original Athearn drive with the plastic drive shafts and everything. So that's how I was able to ascertain if this was the second or third generation. I'm pretty sure it's a third, but it could be a second generation as far as that hex drive shaft upgrade is concerned. I'm talking about where the drive shaft connects into the flywheel. It has a hex head instead of a regular ball joint like the Athearn blue boxes or other Athearn ready to rolls are equipped with. But it comes with a plow, which is pretty nice, and that was definitely nice. But I'm gonna see if I want to get this engine done prototypically correct. I'm definitely gonna add grab irons to it. That's gonna be a little project. But this is one of my engines I don't want anybody else to work on, because it's like, yeah, it's pretty rare. I might just do it myself. I don't know. I'm probably gonna get those railings removed and put metal ones on instead, but for some reason they're strong. I mean, I'm not gonna go and do that, but they're not dainty, because normally if you just poke it if you just lightly poke it, the bottom would automatically pop out. But whoever was working on the assembly line that day, they really put these railings on good. I mean, I've never seen an Athearn ready to roll with the railings on with this much rigidity. I mean, if they did that with all their ready to rolls, I think that would be a lot better. But yeah, I just wanted to share this with you guys, and hopefully in the next couple of days, maybe sometime this week, Friday, maybe I'll have some more goodies for you guys. Alright, so you guys be cool, and I'll see you later. Bye, y'all. Oh, and one more thing, if you can find one of those, snatch it up. If you can find one, snatch it up. You can find them occasionally. Or if you can't, have one custom painted. In that regard, you can actually get the detailing and everything prototypically correct. But, hey, I like it. Again, thank you guys for taking the time out to enjoy this video, and I'll have more coming soon. Later.